Okay, so tonight, following up on the other videos that I made on my channel, I wanted to make a video talking about the studio solo to Slow Dancing in Burning Room. I covered how to play the intro lick. And I just thought that I would go to the next logical step and play the studio solo how I like to play it. So I think that you can kind of gain a lot from learning about this part of the solo or part of the song from watching the live version. Because usually if you watch the first live solo on the 10-minute versions of Slow Dance you can find on YouTube, John Mayer will do some kind of, and then when he finishes doing it's usually a spacier, finger-picked solo. It's not like a high energy, lots of drums thing, right? He'll end it by, the drums will pick up and it's, and he'll play some kind of improv version of the studio solo. And I think you can pick up a lot of cool licks there. But if we're talking about just the studio solo, it goes something kind of like this. Something along those lines. Again, I don't really actually know how to play the proper one. I've just learned from watching the improv versions that you can see in the live performances. So I thought I'd kind of walk through it and show you some little improv things that you can do that can kind of spice it up a little bit. So starting off, you have this kind of like BB slide thing into the B note on the B string. So that's a step and a half bend. You're going from this A flat to this B note. So if you want to, you can kind of have these be slides instead of bends. And you can kind of do those all in slides, which is a cool way to do it. Or you can just have them in bends, and this one you can kind of do a little bit differently. Kind of mix that up and you can play with that bend a little bit. But where you can really start to improv is on the next few parts. So you have this it's a, and that you can kind of play with that first bend there. You can do, I've seen taps, or you can do a slide that, you know, the 2 Rock Slow Dancing version where you go, I messed that up, but you can do that there too. So you can do, that like slur there, which sounds good. I played it before. I think I did a tap or some version of it. But I think the coolest thing that you can mix up with the solos, you have these 2 distinctive parts, right? You have the kind of softer, so that's played, I would play it with your, the intro pickup, the 4th pickup, right? So you get that sound, but you can change after you go into, you get this kind of cool bluesy, I would go to the neck pickup for that. So you can even do it after you do this part. So maybe switch the neck pickup there, but then when you go into this bluesy part, do the neck pickup. So you can kind of give a little bit more energy to the end. Then you go into the bridge, and the bridge is a pretty high energy bridge in this song. I lost my TV light, but the bridge is a pretty high energy bridge. You have that whole thing, right? So you don't need to be afraid of kind of overpowering that, because it comes in, the drums come in big, and then that kind of leads into the full end solo, which is usually a higher energy solo. So let's analyze this little last part here. So you have the, so then you're gonna do, it's kind of a bluesy play on the C minor pentatonic. So, right? And you can get creative there. So you can kind of just go all out. I've seen it played where even like a tube screamer's on it. You got. So you can really that can be a really high energy part of the solo. It doesn't have to be this exactly like the studio. You can mix it up. And if you know this, I mean, this is like the famous blues pentatonic run, I would do that there. That could be a cool place to kind of throw in some flash if you want to add in kind of a flashier end to that solo. So you have, let's just play it from the top. And then we have this slide thing, which I mess up probably 75% of the time I play it. So you have, so that's from the B to the, what is that, C sharp, and then the G flat to the A flat. And then you can slur, after you do that, you can slur back into that E. And I like to end it where you do, go into this little, but you do that, so you end on that E. I don't remember how it's typically played in the studio. Maybe it's maybe it just ends on that E, but I definitely like to play it to end on that high E there. So I'll do it from the top, how I would probably improvise it or something like that. So you can kind of play with each of those parts, and whatever what you're better at technically or what you're not as good at. Let's say you are a master at tapping, you can throw in you can do all kinds of cool stuff with whatever you're good at. Kind of pick that. But I think it really sounds cool when you end it with on the neck pickup, and then you do kind of like a C minor bluesy. Kind of throw in some energy there, depending on how you're going to play the song. If you're playing this, there's not going to be a big end solo, then maybe you don't need to kind of bring the energy up. It kind of depends on how you and your band, or what backing track you're playing to, what that kind of calls for. But I would look at those different parts and see how you can throw your own flair on that. I definitely think it's cool when you do. Doing a lot of slides. I think I definitely err towards bending. I always like to bend, but I'm trying to work more slides into my playing. I think it sounds cool. And the slides are freaking hard. Hitting especially this one, I'm telling you. Try it. If you can get this right more than 50% of the time, you're a great player. I always mess that up for some reason. Anyway, thanks for watching. I think that if you can kind of incorporate some of those things, it can kind of spice up that studio solo. And after this, I'm going to try to make something for licks that you can throw in and ways to play the actual full solo if you want to play it live with the band or to a backing track, kind of give you some more ideas. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.